Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
All through Jesus' arrest, trial, and crucifixion, it seemed like the bad guys were winning. They thought they were too. All the forces of evil ganged up on God's Son as he was arrested, beaten, tried by several leaders, and nailed to the cross. But who was really in charge? When the mob came to arrest him, when Jesus replied, "I am he," to their announcement that they sought Jesus of Nazareth, John says they drew back and fell to the ground. The whole lot of them. Jesus was totally in charge. He even ordered the soldiers to let his disciples go, and they did. Even the time and date of his crucifixion, Jesus completely controlled. In Matthew 26, Jesus said to his disciples, "In 2 days is the Passover, and the Son of Man will be delivered up to be crucified." But at the same time, the Jewish leaders were meeting at the home of Caiaphas, plotting to kill Jesus, and they decided not during the feast, lest there be an uproar among the people. During his trial, the Sanhedrin treated Jesus as though he were a criminal, as though their arresting him suddenly made him weak and helpless. When they asked him to declare once and for all if he considered himself to be the Messiah, he didn't answer yes. Instead, he answered, "It is as you say. Nevertheless, I say to you, hereafter you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the power and coming on the clouds of heaven." In other words, you may see me as meek and lowly now. I might seem vulnerable and helpless before you now, but the next time you see me, I will be coming in judgment. This whole coming in the clouds thing was a messianic reference from Daniel 7:13 and 14. From one of his visions, Daniel said, "And behold, one like the Son of Man coming with the clouds of heaven. To him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom the one which shall not be destroyed." As with many other things Jesus said, this caused the Jewish rulers to lose their temper and yell blasphemy, because they had already decided not to believe Jesus was who he claimed to be. They thought they were in charge, and they were judging him. But with that one statement, Jesus turned everything around and showed that he was the judge, and they were the ones on trial. He was not a victim. He was in charge. When Pilate, the governor, marveled that Jesus refused to speak, he asked, "Do you not know that I have the power or authority to crucify or release you?" Jesus replied, "You could have no power at all against me, unless it had been given you from above." In other words, you think you're in charge, but you have no real power. All the power you think you have is what God allows you to have. Pilate had no power. In fact, he tried to find a way to release Jesus, but that was not God's plan. Jesus was in charge of every detail. He even chose the moment of his death and the place of his burial. Then, when he came back, he told his disciples, "All power has been given to me in heaven and on earth." And the next time he comes, he will show that great power and glory. There will be no question who's in charge. But for now, he's still in charge. Every detail, every moment. Nothing is an accident or out of his control. Everything has a purpose in his plan. Isn't that comforting? How does knowing God is in charge change your perspective?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes at our website, which you can find in the description below. Thanks for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.